Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another devlog. Today we will be having a look at the pantomime generals you shall be facing throughout the game. These are the elemental leaders of the forces, the evil forces that attempt to corrupt the land due to the influence of the Southern King. Now, although they weren't always evil, they have been corrupted by the influence of the Southern King. They were formed from a gem, as are all pantomimes. However, most of the pantomimes that you will meet in the game come from Torreir, which are creatures from other dimensions that have been summoned into the world and turned into gems and then into pantomimes once the gem's potential has been released. These, however, are different. These are humans from other worlds that have been corrupted and brought into this world by the Southern King's influence, and he has enslaved them and made them pantomimes for his own doing. They, as it is said in the game, are without a soul, for their soul remains behind on the world in which they came from. These are just a mirror of who they are in the other world. The first one is Dynia. Dynia is the Earth General. As you can see, her weapon is daggers, and her element, obviously, is Earth. She comes from a military family in her other world who are rulers of her country. It is a military-ruled state, and they oppress the people, but she takes particular delight in this oppression. She enjoys seeing others suffer, and she enjoys the whole idea of pain. She is the type of person who will inflict pain on others only to see what they will do as a result of that pain, to try and use that pain to manipulate them and change them for her own whims. Next, we have Sylve. Sylve is the electric general, and if there is a leader among this group other than the Southern King, it is Sylve. His weapon of choice is the rapier. He comes from a world where he is its supreme leader. He is the emperor of all he surveys, and as such, and as he has been brought up from young to know this, he has a very high superiority complex, which took a significant knock when he realized that he was only in this world by the Southern King's power. Perhaps room or a knock enough for seeds of disquiet and discontent to be in his mind. Next, we have Serena. Serena is the fire general. His weapon of choice is the whip. As you can see, a particularly nasty whip with some spikes on the end. Serena comes from a long line of noblemen in his world. However, his world is not as corrupt or as downcast as the others, and as such he was cast out of the noble court. He has a very sharp mind and takes great delight in designing traps and puzzles for all who would approach him. And one of these traps and puzzles got him in quite hot water before he suddenly found himself in this world. Next, we have the metal general Dorin. Dorin is wrapped in bandages, as you would see on a traditional mummy. Now, in his world, not an inch of skin is to be shown. To do so is shameful beyond measure, and so they all make sure to do this in the most unusual ways possible, because in their world, whoever has the most unique fashion sense is the one who is in charge. Quite an eccentric character. What makes him doubly strange is his obsession with augmentation. Those bandages of his those bandages of his are not for the traditional sense or the traditional usage that they are for his world. They are to hide the alterations he's done to himself throughout the years. The, shall we say, aberrations that he has committed upon his own body. Here we have the nature general, Torreir. As you can tell, his element is nature from his title, Nature General, and he also has mace daggers as his weapons. He is not of royal or noble lineage. In fact, he is of the serving class. But he was never particularly good at serving. And let's just say the red on his outfit is not from dye, but from his previous masters. Here we have the physical general. Her name is Corsi. Corsi is one of the greatest warriors on her planet, and in her world, I should say. And as a result, she was quite surprised to find that in this world, the skill level is much, much higher indeed. However, she is still a formidable foe in this world, but she wishes to claim the top honor that she had in her own world. Next, we come to the water general, Terran. Terran is in charge of making people happy in her world, but not in the traditional sense. You see, she makes people happy by fulfilling their most twisted desires, whatever they may be, and allowing them to live in a fantasy world of their own making. She does this by hypnotic song, and once you are in that world, you can never leave. Finally, we have the Wind General, Ryan. In her own world, she has a twin sister, although that sister, Nee, has not been brought to this world with her, and as such, this once master thief has quite lost the plot. She will refer to other pantomimes as Nee randomly, and will do things that others would not. It is said that she sees the world through a candy floss looking glass, seeing everything as sunshine and roses, even when committing the most heinous of acts. Finally, we get to the Southern King himself. The Southern King is a summoner. His ability lies in his mask. His mask was carved from the bones of his very own sprite. After committing such an atrocity, he used the power from the sprite and harnessed it and created the mask with it. With the physical and spiritual sides merged, he is able to summon pantomimes and control them utterly, changing Corsi and human into pantomime. His sole desire is destruction. Destruction of everything. He is a nihilist in the extreme. He believes humanity is beyond saving. But maybe not, for he believes that pain is the only eternal emotion, and he wishes to save everyone from this pain. How, you wonder, does he plan to do this? By destroying everyone and everything, and then destroying himself. For if there is nothing, never more will there ever again be any pain.